West Heritage Area is hereby called to order. Let me begin by welcoming you and thanking you for taking the time to join us this afternoon. My name is Marty Baker, and I serve on the Maryland Heritage Areas Authority, representing the Maryland Department of Transportation Secretary Greg Slater. I am also a member of the MHAA Executive Committee. Joining me are Elizabeth Hughes, Director of the Maryland Historical Trust, who serves on the Maryland Heritage Areas Authority as the State Historic Preservation Officer, and Dan Spedden, who represents the Maryland Tourism Development Board on the authority. The administrator of the Maryland Heritage Areas program, Jennifer Ruffner, is also here, as well as Ennis Barbary-Smith and Andrew Arvizu, the assistant administrators, to provide staff support. Because we are holding this hearing virtually, I would ask that each speaker state their name before speaking so that attendees can follow along. The public who are joining us are watching via YouTube live stream. We will not be entertaining questions or testimony from the audience during the meeting, and typed comments on the YouTube live stream will not constitute public testimony. All public testimony must be submitted via mail or email, and I will provide specific instructions on how to do that shortly. There's some background on the Maryland Heritage Areas Authority. The Maryland Heritage Areas Authority was established in 1996 as an independent unit of state government in the executive branch that operates in the Maryland Department of Planning. The Secretary of the Maryland Department of Planning, or their designee, chairs the authority. Other authority members include the Secretaries of Commerce, Higher Education, Transportation, Natural Resources, Housing and Community Development, the State Historic Preservation Officers, and 10 gubernatorial appointees, including representatives of the President of the Senate, the Speaker of the House, the Maryland Association of Counties, the Maryland Municipal League, and experts in historic preservation and tourism. The authority is charged with implementing the Heritage Area Statute and regulations, including approving or rejecting heritage area management plans, designating certified heritage areas, approving heritage area boundary amendments, and approving grants and loans to projects in certified heritage areas. MHAA is required by law to hold at least one public hearing prior to acting on proposals to amend the boundary of a certified heritage area. MHAA has received a request from Garrett County and the Mountain Maryland Gateway to the West Heritage Area to improve the enlargement of the boundaries of the Mountain Maryland Gateway to the West Certified Heritage Area to include the McHenry Community Park, located at 1249 Bumblebee Road, McHenry in Garrett County. The purpose of this public hearing is to solicit comments on the proposal. Opponents and proponents may submit written testimony by mail or email to the authority's offices. All testimony must be received by June 23rd, 2021 at 5 p.m. You are encouraged to submit your testimony via email to jen.ruffner@maryland.gov. That's jen.ruffner@maryland.gov. If you are not able to submit testimony via email, please mail your comments to Jennifer Ruffner's attention, Maryland Historical Trust, 100 Community Place, 3rd floor, Brownsville, Maryland, 21032. An information sheet with this information will also be posted on the Maryland Historical Trust website.
And Marty, can I just correct you? The date is June 18th, 2021. That's the Friday.
Oh, thank you. June 18th, 2021 at 5 p.m. Press releases announcing this public hearing were sent out to local media in advance of this hearing. Following this afternoon's hearing, the Heritage Area Authority will meet virtually on July 8th, 2021 at 10 a.m. to review and act on the proposal to approve the enlargement of the boundaries of the Mountain Maryland Gateway to the West Heritage Area. A summary of the testimony received by June 18th, 2021 will be shared with authority members at their meeting. That meeting is open to the public and will be held virtually. If the request to amend the boundary is approved, local jurisdictions, nonprofit organizations, businesses, and individuals in the newly added areas will be eligible to receive grants, loans, tax credits, and other benefits available through the Maryland Heritage Areas Authority. This concludes my introductory remarks. Our next speaker is Ms. Kim Folk, Heritage Area and Groups Director for the Mountain Maryland Gateway to the West Heritage Area, who will present a brief virtual tour and presentation summarizing the proposal for the boundary amendment.
Hello, everybody. First, I'd like to introduce myself again, just briefly. Kim Folk. I am the Heritage Area Director with Garrett County, Maryland, and I have been the Heritage Area Director here for just 2 years. So this is my first go at a boundary amendment. So I want to thank everybody for joining us today and taking the time to join us, and also for all the support that you give the heritage areas. So first off in my presentation is a short video. The video was provided to us by the Deep Creek Lions Club, who basically is the entity that manages and operates the property that the 1249 Bumblebee Road that we are requesting the amendment to. And this video just gives a really good overview of what the property offers and what the Deep Creek Lions Club contributes to our community and what their mission is. They're a very strong community leader, and I think this video shows that very well. So are we good to go, Jen? She's working on the video. What happened?
Oh, I just got a message from Jen. She's having trouble hearing. Let me see.
Oh,
Hear
me?
us? Let me see.
I turned my volume up. Is it just a volume issue?
I can hear you fine. So
Okay.
let's see.
Regina, I can hear you. I can hear you perfectly. So it must be on Jen's unit.
Okay. We can. I don't know how we're going to do this. She's driving the PowerPoint, correct?
Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
see.
Okay.
1 second. Just give us a sec. Pause
Okay.
for technical again. She's saying it's a video. Jen, can you hear us now?
I show her mic is muted. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, sorry. It was playing on my screen, but not on your screen. Clearly, it's a day of tech weirdness.
Which we also tested just a few minutes ago. Huh.
All right, let me try this one more time. And I'm just going to go ahead and play it because once I go into the video, I can't hear.
That's
Okay.
fine.
Our club is part of the Lions Club International, which is the largest service organization in the world. And we have mission areas, notably including service to the visually impaired and hunger abatement throughout the world. Our particular club addresses those missions by our flagship programs, which are the Blind Skiers and the Blind Campers, where we bring visually impaired kids here to Garrett County to experience all the awesome recreational opportunities we have around here. So in the winter, we take the kids skiing through the use of special equipment and sighted guides. In the summertime, we bring them out to the lake, take them tubing, and they camp outside under the stars and get to experience all the recreational activities that their fully sighted peers may take for granted. We address the hunger issue in the county through our little free pantry that we have here at our park. It's a free resource for anyone who needs food. And then we also operate this beautiful community park. We constructed the county's first dog park. We have a ball field that's used by the community college's softball team, but that's open for use for anyone who wants to use it. And we have a 10-mile trail system back there that's themed around the life and times of Meshach Browning, who was one of the earliest settlers of Garrett County. We also have a historical exhibit and outdoor art installation based around him. We host an art installation of pieces that were created by our blind skiers and blind campers. So every time we have them come up, we have them work on an art project. So in order to support all this great stuff that we do, we hold a number of fundraisers every year. We have a boat parade on the lake. We usually do a poker cruise. We started a scavenger hunt event last year that was really successful. And we also accept the donation of boats, and then we sell it at an annual auction. I hope you all come out and enjoy this great park, enjoy our great fundraisers. To donate, to join, to find out about what we do, you can go to deepcreeklions.org. We are 21st Century Values Club, so anyone is welcome to join. And we welcome everyone of all abilities, and if you want to help make the community a better place and serve others, then we welcome you to come.
Okay, so that was obviously a virtual tour, if you will, of the property. And so then the details of the boundary amendment request would be that the Garrett County government requested the boundary amendment for the interest of the Deep Creek Lions Club. The request to perform the boundary amendment to the Mountain Maryland Gateway to the West Heritage Area is for the property of 1249 Bumblebee Road in McHenry, Maryland. So again, 1249 Bumblebee Road is the property that is owned by the Garrett County government, and it is managed and operated by the Deep Creek Lions Club. That agreement was signed between the county and the Deep Creek Lions Club on May 9th of 2006 for 31.73 acres of developed land. The property in question consists of a ball field, a pavilion, restrooms, a fenced dog park, 10 miles of trails, and interpretive panels, and wooden art piece dedicated to the history of Meshach Browning, as well as the other art installations and the interpretive panels as well. So on these blurry maps, you might be able to see to the map to the right, the red arrow indicates the property of 1249 Bumblebee Road, and then the faint pink areas that are kind of all around it would be the heritage areas that are around that property. And then the map to the left shows the closest heritage area to the property in question, which would be at Garrett College, and it is maybe a fourth of a mile in distance from the proposed boundary amendment area, which is in the red there in the dots. And so these are aerial views, obviously, of the property. The photo to the right shows all the property that is currently been developed. So that shows the ball field, the trailhead, the history center. And then to the left, you will see that area in addition to a very large cleared area that they have future plans of more development in that area. So you can see there's a lot of growth potential that they haven't really tapped into yet. So some of the projects of interest that I discussed with Chris at the Deep Creek Lions Club that they would like to pursue would be developing an online Meshach Browning History Center and website. So they kind of have a start on that clearly, but they would like to kind of work on that and make it a little bit more intense. Print and distribute a Meshach Browning historical driving tour. Those brochures they would make available at the visitor centers and museums throughout our county. They would relocate a log cabin that has been gifted to the Deep Creek Lions Club to create a small museum for the Meshach Browning history. And I know that Chris has already spoken to John McGowan, who is on my Heritage Area Board and represents the Historical Society. And they have full support of the Historical Society if and when they're able to pursue that little museum there. And then they also have the intentions of pursuing a bike track for the community in that area, which is something we do not have. So that would be the first of its kind in our area. So that would be kind of exciting to see come around. So the relevance to our Mountain Maryland Gateway to the West Heritage Area is there is currently no, the story of Meshach Browning is out. I'm sorry, I was on the wrong slide in my head. The story of Meshach Browning is outlined in our Heritage Area Management Plan. The history of Meshach Browning ties to two of our themes, which is man and nature and historic recreation. The existing trail system ties to our historic recreation theme. And Garrett County has put a great emphasis in the last 10 years on developing a robust trail system. And these trails are already a part of the marketing of our county trails. And I know that, again, Chris already works as a partner to Garrett Trails, which is our county trail organization, another nonprofit, developing our trail systems and working with nonprofits such as Deep Creek Lions Club. So he's already doing that. So this would just help out a lot. So these are just some photos of the trails. These trails are considered easy to moderate. They are really accessible to all of our tourists in the area because they're 1249 Bumblebee Road is really in the heart of Deep Creek Lake and very easy to find. And these are some of the trails that are for season. You can get to them. The trailhead's right by the parking lot. So folks can get, not all of our trails are easy to get to in the winter, but these trails are definitely for season trails. So these are just photos of the historical markers that are currently there, and they tell a story of Meshach Browning. They also highlight, if you can see in the corner, there's maps on those. They highlight areas throughout the county where Meshach Browning, the story is highlighted in those areas where he's had, he had a presence in those areas and gives the history of those areas as well. So this is a great historical asset for us because it's really the only place where this story is being told for our heritage area. And so these are two of the art installations that are there. The wooden structure to the left is actually a wooden structure of Meshach Browning. And then there's a few of these metal, steel, I'm not sure what they're made of, structures that were erected on the property as well there at the history area. So the Deep Creek Lions Club has a proven track record of partnering with organizations in the county and offering their support when possible. Some of the organizations that they currently or previously have worked with are Wisp Resort for the Blind Skier Program, Heart for Animals, Dog Rescue Veterinary Bed and Bark Boarding Facility, Garrett College, their softball team, and the Garrett County Board of Ed with numerous athletic organizations. So some things to consider with this boundary amendment, again, would be that there's currently no reference point for the Meshach Browning story to be shared within the county other than at this location. The property is the trailhead for over 10 miles of trails and is the only access point to those trails. And the Deep Creek Lions Club already maintains these trails and works again with Garrett Trails to develop and maintain those even more so. Tourists in the area already use these trails and can learn about some of our history while they're on the property. With added exposure from the heritage area, we can introduce more visitors to the area. And the location is in the heart of Deep Creek Lake, where the county sees over 1.3 million visitors annually. And this area is very accessible to them and would be easy to market to them and get them there. And the group is prepared to request funding for projects as soon as FY23. And so that's all I have. I'm happy to answer questions. I do want to mention Chris Nichols from the Deep Creek Lions Club is on the call. He can help me with any Deep Creek Lake Lions specific questions that might come about. And I'm happy to answer anything I can.
Thank you. Any questions?
Regina, it's Dan Spedden. One of the historic markers indicated in the slides was that Meshach Browning's gravesite. Do you guys have that?
We do. It is located on Route 42. If you're leaving the lake and you're going to Friendsville, it's right as you drop down out of Deep Creek Lake on the right-hand side of the road. Yeah. It is marked, but a lot of people don't, they don't necessarily know, what that's about. So again, those historical panels up there are really good for that, because they do send you to numerous places within the county that, there is a Meshach Browning story to be told. And, that's one collective place where we can tell that story.
Yeah, I was working for DNR. I was familiar with his history, but I just thought his gravesite was just lost to time. I didn't know that it was actually there. That's a good benchmark. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a big monument there.
It looks like Elizabeth Hughes has her hand raised.
I do. Thank you, Ines. So Kim, when you were first presenting and we watched the video, I mean, it's clear that the Lions Club is an incredible community asset and does a great deal in terms of community service and supporting folks in the local community who are coming in from other places. I was getting a little concerned that this was really more, the boundary amendment was more about supporting a community asset that served residents, seeing the ball fields and the dog park and that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. Than about heritage tourism, which was really, the purpose of this program. Mm-hmm. So I think when you talked more about the fact that this is a trailhead and it really is a jumping off point for visitors to explore the trails and to tell the story of Meshach Browning, I felt better about this. The goal of the boundary expansion really being about optimizing those opportunities for visitors. Mm-hmm. To come and support the economic development of the heritage area and have unique visitor experiences. So, insofar as the property, there's a large area that is undeveloped, that is slated for development in the future. Mm-hmm. Can you clarify, has it been defined sort of how that property is looking to be developed in the future? You mentioned about bringing in a log cabin. Is it for that sort of interpretation, or is it still to be determined?
I'll let Chris jump in here. I think in my conversations with him earlier that there's definitely growth to continue developing the trails because there's 10 miles there now. And it's hard, at least for me, to put in perspective on those maps how much property that is. But there's that's a pretty good chunk of property there that's not developed. And then I know that the bike track is definitely something they're pursuing, and that would fit into our historic recreation just because we don't have one of any even remotely similar to that. And that would be, again, the location of the property is just it's right in the heart of Deep Creek, where we do see the vast majority of our tourists. And the vast majority of our tourists are coming for outdoor recreation. So I'm sure that would get a lot of use by those tourists. But if Chris, if you want to add anything, I'll open the floor to you.
Right. Thank you. Yeah. So some of that area that's undeveloped is definitely slated for the reassembly of that donated log cabin. And then some other part of it is for the bicycle pump track. And then the rest of it is open-ended. One event that we have in our planning stages right now for the end of the summer is a Meshach Browning Pioneer Challenge, where people will compete in pioneer era skills, things like axe throwing and log sawing and fire starting. So we're going to use some of that open space just for that type of event too. So we may just keep some of that space open as well, just to have events like that where you can have an open field you may need that for.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you. Any other questions? Well, if there are no more questions, I will move to close the meeting with some comments. Thank you all for your time and input this afternoon. Please submit any written testimony to the Maryland Heritage Areas Authority by 5 p.m. on June 18th, 2021. Again, you're encouraged to submit your testimony via email to jenruffner@maryland.gov. If you are not able to submit testimony via email, please mail your comments to Jennifer Ruffner's attention, Maryland Historical Trust, 100 Community Place, 3rd floor, Brownsville, Maryland, 21032. An information sheet with this information will also be posted on the Maryland Historical Trust website. This hearing is now adjourned. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye,
Thank you,
everybody.
Tim
Good
and
luck,
Chris.
Regina.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.